In this recorded tutorial, I want to show you a couple of tools that allow you to manipulate and modify 3D solid objects. Okay, so these are in the selection panel over here. So in order to do this, I'm just going to draw a simple box shape. And the first one then is called Culling. And you can see that at the moment, with my shape selected, I can see only the solid objects that I would see in real life in front of me. And if I switch culling off, you can see that now I can see through the box and I can see that back corner, for example, and can modify this shape by getting to the grips on the back side. If I switch it back on, again, now all I can see are the grips that I would see if this was a real object, a solid object. So that's culling. The next one is called filtering. And at the moment you can see that I've got no filter on here. And so when I select the object, I select the entire object by default. However, I can choose to select the object via just the vertices, the edges, or the faces. So let's have a go then at selecting the edge. And now you can see that I can select just that one edge. And because I've got my 3D gizmo showing, because I'm in conceptual, I can now manipulate this box by that edge. And you can see the 3D move gizmo allows me to manipulate this box quite easily. I could select a vertex, and I can select this corner over here. Let's just press escape and just select the one corner. And now you can see I can pull up that corner like this. I can even move it across. Let's move it this way. You can see that I can start to manipulate this object in all manner of different ways just by using this selection tool. As well as being able to manipulate objects using the selection filters, we can also use the mesh tools. Now the great thing about this is that we can start to really refine and create some quite organic shapes from just a simple box. And I'm just going to start by selecting the smooth object tool, and you can see that this box now has more facets. Now, one thing to note about this is that it does start to become quite CPU intensive, as we're now introducing a lot more polygons into our drawing, and it can become quite graphically heavy. So you do need quite a good computer to do this. So I'm just going to smooth this out even more, and you can see I've got even more facets now to my object. And I can start to manipulate this using the filter selection as well. So I could go and select face over here. Let's just select the middle one. That's it. And let's pull this out. And let's select maybe the top and start to create a shape like this. And maybe on the back here as well. Maybe do this, and maybe move it to the side a little bit, like that. And you can see that you can really start to create some very interesting shapes using the mesh tool. Now it's worth noting that there's loads more tools to do with mesh in the mesh tab, but this is sort of going beyond the scope of this video series. But I do just want to point out that we do have some basic shapes here that will be created using a mesh to begin with, which you may want to have a look at and explore.